This tutorial comes from a question from Facebook of how to create one of these matching game designs and if we could do it in Canva. But as you see from my video here, I actually animated it on top of it. So what a great little listing thing you can put up if you create these books to sell. So the first thing I did is I went into Canva's Dream Lab and I created these two little cute little farm animals. I'm in a video format, and that's because if you want to know the animation part of this, stick till the end and I will show you how I animated it after we created it. But if you're going to do the book, just do it in whatever size you're going to do your book pages and we'll go from there. So with this, I want to take both of these and I want to remove the background on both of these. So now, and I'm going to just shorten this up just because all this extra space, I don't need it. And when I'm starting moving stuff, I don't want it all over the place. So now I got my two little animals that I'm going to use. And then I'm going to just throw something in for the background. I use this one. We can use whatever one we can put here. And put this as the background. I usually go and edit and try to make it. I usually do some little tweaks when it comes to making it kind of. I pull the sharpness and all up to kind of give it more of a sketch feel. So I put the sharpness and the clarity up, and then I'm just going to take the position and I am going to move it to my back. Like so. And now I have my two little animals, and I can sit them over here like on the grass, looking cute, and then you can size them however big you want. Now, each animal was on a page, so I just got two animals here, and we can do both of them just to look and see how it comes out. So now I got my two animals. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a copy of each one and layer them on top. And then I'm going to take the top one and I'm going to go into edit. Now you're going to need the pro version for this method. And I'm going to go to magic grab. So now I have my little elephant here. Elephant? Cow. It's a cow. Girl, it's a cow. All right. And I'm going to hit the brush because if I go click, it's going to click the whole thing. We don't want the whole thing. I'm going to go to brush. So I'm going to take that brush and I am going to go over my little cow's head. And then when I get down to the neck part, I'm going to be very, very gentle of what I want to do because I don't want to grab any of the neck. So if I need to make a smaller brush, I'll make a smaller brush just to make sure that I don't grab none of the neck. And I'm going to gently go down into, he's got a lot of folds right here. So I'm going to be very careful. So when it grabs, it's just going to grab his head. And then I'm going to make sure all that's purple. And I'm going to go grab. Now, the reason I made a duplicate, see now I have my head off. Doesn't sound very good, does it? Is if you notice when Magic Grab, it tried to make something else out of it and it looks very, very weird. So I don't want that one behind mine anymore because of Magic Grab. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that one. So now you have your full one over top like that. We're going to do just like this. I'm going to make the extra one. I'm going to duplicate it. So this is the one we're going to be moving around. And then this is layered over top. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to go into duotone. I'm going into custom. I'm going to take that first color, change it to white. I'm going to go take that second color and change it to white. And now I have this. So if you're making this as a book, what you want to do next is you're going to take that and you're going to go and get you a blank page and take your head. You want to keep it the same size that it's going to be on your page. So say this is just a page and you have the little cow right here. So when you bring it over to the next page, make sure that it's in the blank page that it's exactly the same size as over here. Because when you want to do and cut it out and everything, you don't want it to be this. You go like this, and now your cow head doesn't match the size over here when you go to put, the kid goes to put it on the thing. You want it to be the exact same size. So we're going to go backwards and go back over to this page and keep going backwards till it goes back to the regular size. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just go and download the file. You're going to go to download. You're going to go PNG because this is a video file here. And then you're going to go transparent background. And then when you go and use it, now it's just a floating head within So you'll do current page, done, download, and then you'll just have a floating head on a PNG. I don't think if you're going to take it into somewhere like Cricut or anything like that to cut around it, you don't have to worry about that. I know on my cutter, I don't have to worry about that because I can go in there and I can take that white background out and then I can just make the outline of where I want to cut on it. So if you're going to do that, then you might not have to even worry about the transparent background, but that's an option if you want to do it. And then when you go to cut it, then you'll have your little piece that you can use here. And they can go and put those pieces in the right spots. So again, we'll do a second one. I'm going to do little piggy over here. I'm going to go into edit. Oh, first I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to line it right over top. I am going to go into magic grab. I'm going to grab my little piggy. I'm going to go into the brush tool. I want to make my brush bigger because I got a lot of surface area that I want to do at first. So I can do that really quickly. And he is a little bit easier because of how his neckline is. So might be able to get away with the big brush too on this. But we want to be very careful of where we want to go with our cute little pig. And just go like so and grab that head. And I want to grab it. And now I have my little piggy. And see what it does, that weird thing right there. We don't want that. So I'm going to just go back over here. And I'm going to make it stay lined up. So we're going to let's go back. So it's lined up over top. I'm just going to go in a position. And you can see right here, you can see the one that's got the weird white to it. We're going to delete that. Now it looks like a good whole picture. So now I'm going to duplicate. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to take that little piggy because that's the piggy that I want. And then I'm going to take the second piggy. This is a loose piggy. And then I'm going to go into edit, to a tone. It's really simple. Once you get the process down and you can do it, you can whip through these pretty quickly. And then you have the white. So now when you have that piece and that's your page in your book, you can just have your little piggy. They can line it and put their little piggy thing right on top. And same as before, you're just going to go and do a blank page. And maybe if you're doing Cricut and it's small enough and you have a bigger page where you want to use the cut, you just make sure they stay in the size that you want them to stay and put them on a bigger page and put multiple ones where you can cut them out at one time. Whatever you use in to cut. But I don't do that much, so I'm not a professional at it, so don't take my advice too much on that. So what I'm going to do is line these little bad boys right back up on top, like so. Well, what we're going to do now, if you do make a little book like this, and you would like to have a cute little animation to go to promote your book, this is where I'm going to get into the animation part that I did in the beginning. So it's not very hard, but we're going to do it. So what I want to do is I am going to click my first one, hold my shift key down, click the next one, and I'm going to move these kids where I want them to go, like over here. And if I want to resize them or anything, I can, but I'm not going to for this. And then what I want to do is I want to put my little heads over here. I should have made them smaller, but we're just going to do this for this. And if you want to give them a little spin or whatever else to make it kind of cute, you can go ahead and do that also. And if you really want to, you can go ahead and group these together. So I can group this. I want to make sure I grab the right pieces. I'm going to grab that and the cow. So I'm going to hit my control and the cow, and I can group that together. So that's just one piece, and it kind of moves out of my way. And that is that the pig. And group that together. Why do we got an extra pig body? Let's see, what do we have? For some reason, I have an extra pig. Okay, don't know more. So now I can do something like that. I can move them around where I want to. And you can make an example. All right, so now I have my first page lined up the way I want it to. The other thing I did was the hand. So let's go into my recent elements and see which ones I used. I use this finger here. It's a pro finger. You might be able to find a free one. It's point the finger. You might be able to find a free version. I used to use the free version and I used to use stuff with hands in it all the time. So there's probably a free option if you want to use the free option for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate it and I'm going to move it forward. I'm going to go into my transparency and I'm going to cut that all the way down to 0. Then I'm going to go in my positions tab and I am going, the clear one is already highlighted. I'm going to hold my control key and highlight the second one and I'm going to group them together. Now the reason I want to do that is because I'm going to pull this finger off of the page to start with. And if you do, and it doesn't have any room, if you pull it completely off, let's pull it completely off, see it disappears. Now it's completely gone. So if you do that by accident, always just hit your back button and your finger will show back up. But you want that space, that blank space right there, so you'll be able to pull it off and keep your purple box on your design space. Once you pull it off, it's gone. So that's why we do the transparency one, just to give us a little wiggle room to move around. So you're going to put your finger where you're going to start it off at, and then what you can do next, we're going to get rid of this blank page here and delete it. You're going to duplicate your page. You're going to go, I'm going to use my positions tabs for this. I'm going to grab my finger and I'm going to go and put it, let's do the cow first. We'll do the cow. So I'm going to point on the cow. Then I'm going to duplicate the page. Then I'm going to go to the positions tab and I want them to move together. So I'm going to go highlight my finger and then I'm going to highlight my cow head and then I'm going to move it over here to my cow. And then what I can do is go here, click out, and then I'm going to move my cow into space. Like so, and line it up over top. And then I'm going to duplicate again. If you keep them straight, you won't have to do the tilting part here, because I didn't do the tilting part in the other one, but in the original one. So now I want to duplicate the page, and I want to go on. You're going to go ahead and pull your finger back out, duplicate the page, pull your finger back in, and hit onto the pig. Duplicate, position. I'm going to grab my finger, hit my control key, and grab the little piggy's head. And then I'm put the piggy over here. And then when the piggy comes over here, I'm just going to grab the piggy and straighten him up. Put him to 0 and put him in his place on top, like so. And then I'm going to duplicate again. And then I'm going to pull my finger back off, like so. And that's how you do that. And if you want to add words or whatever, you can do that at the top. So now I got that. Let's get this out the way. Now what I want to do is I want to go and I'm going to go in between the pages. So let's do that again. We'll go in between the pages where it says add transition. I'm going to go into match and move. I'm going to turn the direction all the way up. That's what I like to do. You can keep it down and make it move a little bit faster, but I like it that way. So, and then what I'm going to do after that, I'm going to go in there and then I'm going to apply that between all the pages. So that's going to shrink my timing down on there, but I want to shrink my timing even more. I don't want it going that slow. So I'm going to pick a page and go up here to where the little clock is, the timing. And I'm going to turn my timing down to maybe about a second between each one, maybe. Let's do 1, or let's try to get it to 1. 1 second. Oh, it says 2. All right, so I'm going to hit the little box, highlight, put 1, enter. It says 1.3. It never does exactly what you says. It's just Canva. And then sometimes you're going to have to do it a couple times to actually get it into close to what you want. Just what it is some kind of hiccup with it. Now, let's watch and see what we have. So let's go from the beginning and watch what we have. So now here's our animation. So we're going to grab it, move it over into the spot. And then we're going to grab this one and move it over into its spot. And there you go. And that's like a cute little advert you can use if you're going to sell those types of books like the question was asked in the beginning. I think they're adorable. you use a little AI, cute little creatures and stuff like that. I think that's an adorable little thing. And here's just an animation that you could put on your listen to kind of help you out a little bit. I think it makes it cute. So thank you guys for stopping by. It might give you more ideas to do something else with it. I would, you could actually probably do letters the same way. You could just do letters. Let's add a text box. Let's do the letter T, and then you can just put a lot of T things in there. And then if you want to do like a page and do the same thing, you could do that and do cutouts. All you would have to do, let's put this on a different color, like this color background, and then you would just have one. You would duplicate one, and then have one. Let's say this is white, and then one whatever color you want, and then you could have it here, and then they could go and drop it on the page. So you could also do something like that with letters. That's another idea you could do for the like books, and then you could put all T letter words like trees or a turtle and all that stuff around the page, and or have like little animals or something that, and then what letters do these go to, and have the animals match to the letter. I don't know. I, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I done got off a tangent with ideas. I'm giving y'all ideas for little books and stuff like that now. So, okay. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. I love you, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.